Marlon David Jackson was born on March 12, 1957, in Gary, Indiana, to Catherine and Joe Jackson. He was raised in a working-class neighborhood alongside his 8 siblings. The Jackson family was highly focused on music, and Joe Jackson, the patriarch, was instrumental in pushing his children to become performers. Marlon's siblings include his older brothers Jackie, Tito, and Jermaine, as well as Michael, Randy, and sister Janet, all of whom became internationally famous musicians. Marlon, along with his brothers, was encouraged to develop his musical talents, leading to the formation of the Jackson 5. His early life was shaped by both the discipline of his father and the musical atmosphere in which he grew up. In 1964, when Marlon was about 7 years old, he and his brothers formed a band initially known as the Jackson Brothers. Later, they became the Jackson 5. The group's name was changed to reflect their desire to be an energetic and youthful force in the music world. Their big break came when they were signed to Motown Records in 1968, where they became one of the most successful acts of the late 1960s and early 1970s. Motown marketed the group as young musical prodigies, with Michael as the lead singer. The Jackson 5 scored several #1 hits, including I Want You Back, ABC, and I'll Be There. Marlon's role in the group was primarily as a backup vocalist and dancer. While his brother Michael often took the lead, Marlon's contributions to the group's vocal harmonies and his energetic performances were vital to the Jackson 5's dynamic stage presence. In 1975, the Jackson 5 left Motown Records due to creative and financial disagreements. They signed with Epic Records and became known as the Jacksons. The move marked a shift in their music, as they began to have more creative control over their work. The Jacksons released albums such as Destiny, 1978, which included hits like Shake Your Body Down to the Ground, and Blame It on the Boogie. The group was now a 5-piece, as Marlon's brother Jermaine left the group to stay with Motown and pursue a solo career. Randy Jackson, Marlon's younger brother, joined the band as a replacement. While Michael Jackson began to rise to superstardom with his solo career during this time, Marlon continued to perform and tour with the Jacksons. The group maintained success throughout the late 1970s and early 1980s. In 1984, after the release of Victory, the Jacksons' final studio album, the group disbanded. This album was a commercial success, but tensions within the group, especially with Michael's increasing solo success, led to the end of the group's activities. Marlon Jackson pursued a solo career in the 1980s, though it was not as commercially successful as the careers of his brothers, particularly Michael and Janet. In 1987, he released his first and only solo album, Marlon Jackson, which featured the single, Don't Take It Personal. The album's moderate success did not replicate the chart-topping feats of his brothers, but it showcased his ability as a solo artist and musician. Marlon also participated in various projects over the years, including collaborations with other musicians and appearances in TV specials. His solo endeavors mainly focused on music, though he also made occasional appearances as a member of the Jackson 5 in various reunion projects and performances. Marlon Jackson has largely kept his personal life out of the public eye. He married Carol Parker in 1975, and together they have 3 children. Marlon has maintained a relatively low profile compared to his more famous siblings, though he has occasionally participated in public appearances, charity events, and interviews. In addition to his music career, Marlon is also known for his philanthropic efforts. He has been involved in various charitable organizations, especially those focusing on youth, education, and family support. Despite not achieving the same level of fame as his brothers, Marlon Jackson's legacy as part of the Jackson 5 and the Jacksons is significant. The Jackson 5 is often credited with revolutionizing pop and R&B music in the 1970s, and their influence continues to be felt today. As a member of the Jackson 5, Marlon helped shape one of the most successful groups in pop music history. His vocal contributions, though often in the background, were an essential element of the group's sound. Marlon, along with his brothers, reunited for a Jackson 5 performance during the 1984 Victory Tour, but after that, the group largely went their separate ways. Over the years, the Jackson brothers have occasionally reunited for special performances and projects. Marlon, Tito, Jackie, and Randy Jackson have all participated in these reunions, and they've performed together in various formats. Marlon Jackson is remembered as a vital part of the Jackson 5's success and is regarded as one of the pioneers of modern pop music. While his solo career did not match the achievements of his siblings, his contributions to the Jackson family's legacy remain important. Marlon Jackson's journey through music, his role in one of the world's most iconic groups, and his contributions to pop culture have cemented his place in the history of music, even though his individual fame never reached the heights of his brothers. Nonetheless, his place in the Jackson family's legacy is undeniable, and his work with the Jackson 5 and the Jacksons continues to be celebrated by fans around the world.